Hi, I'm Carolyn Crane, the author of Mind Games and Double Cross, the first two books in the Disillusionist trilogy about Justine Jones. She's a hypochondriac who got drafted into a psychological hit squad run by a mutant mastermind with special powers, and his name is Packard. Anyway, she goes around as a fake nurse helping to disillusion criminals. All the disillusionists are really messed up people. They're like a psychological hit squad, and they turn bad guys good by psychologically attacking them and zinging them. And here she's at work on one of the bad guys. It's chapter 1. As the coat check girl, aka the station master, draws her face right up close to the glass window of her little booth and fixes me with a piercing gaze. Her fine features and short blonde hair lend her a certain elfin beauty. It's hard to believe she's a mass murderer. Honestly, how does a dream invader even kill people? People have bad dreams all the time. They're just dreams. I should have asked when Packard assigned me to her case. Do you get a lot of patients coming to your clinic with, Morgan Brookstein's parasites colonizing their organs? She asks. Oh, yes. I run my finger along the semicircular hole at the bottom of the window. The coat check booth is situated along a kind of balcony overlooking the glamorous piano bar below. They call this place the Sapphire Sunset. Soft music and voices rise up through the air, punctuated by the occasional hoots of laughter. What happens to them? Well, once a person's organs are colonized, I shake my head. But I thought there were promising new medications on the horizon, she says. Promising may be overstating it. Just between us, we don't want people scared if they have symptoms. As stiffens. People should be scared if they have symptoms? No, I say, we don't want them to be scared. Which implies they should be scared. The conversation winds on like this for a while. It's easy to frighten a hypochondriac once you understand that it's just the adult version of monsters in the closet. I study the booth as Ez describes her symptoms. Station Master Ez is separated from the world by 2 panes of glass. Tokens are passed back and forth along a metal gully under the semicircular holes. You'd never know that this has been her prison for 3 years. The curtain behind her probably hides where she sleeps and bathes. Cut off even from touch. Otto only reserves this level of security for the most dangerous offenders. Usually, when he makes a force field prison, non-prisoners can pass in and out. A new tune noodles up from below. Muskrat Love. Ez lowers her voice. Whenever he plays that, I want to shove an ice pick in my ear. I bet, I say. I'd like nothing better than to discuss the insanity of that song, but I can't let her get off the subject. Look, I say, I could take your pulse and examine your skin tonus. That would provide certain indicators. She points to the window and tells me it's an anti-burglar force field. So that's how she explains it. Probably only the owner knows that she's trapped here. I'm ready with my story. I tell her as a nurse I have a descrambler that unknits the fields just enough for me to pass through. She's surprised, but cautiously she places her hand in mine and I pull it toward me, back across the gully, and pretend to inspect her skin as I stoke up fear I'm going to zing her with. The abnormally large amount of fear I'm able to generate is a reason Packard drafted me into his psychological hit squad. So she zings her, and whenever they zing somebody, it feels like wind in their fingers. And the zinged person feels terrible, but the disillusionist who zinged out all their darkness feels great. But then, just after she zings Ez, fingers dig into my shoulders, and I'm jerked backwards. My hand separates from hers, which is forced back into the field. I spin around. Packard! He grabs my elbow and pulls me across the catwalk and down the wide carpeted stairs, down into the sea of people. What are you doing? I ask, nearly tripping down the last few steps. He drags me into a corner below the coat check catwalk where Ez can't see us. This sort of rough treatment would make me a lot angrier if I hadn't just zinged out all my negative emotions. At the same time, all the same, I shake him off, and I do my best to fix him with a good glare. Don't ever do that again, I say. His green eyes burn into mine. Or what? I have nothing to say to that, unfortunately. You zinged her, he said. I told you to wait for me. You were an hour late, I say. Oh, what have you done, he says. I should probably be more concerned at this point, but after you zing all your fear and darkness, life seems pretty great. Glory hour, we call it. Most people think happiness is about gaining something, but it's not. It's all about getting rid of the darkness that you accumulate inside. How long did you touch her? Packard demands. Just long enough to zing her, I say. How did you get through? Otto made me the scrambler. I hold up my arm with the bracelet. What's going on? I'm the one to hand out the scramblers if and when people need them, Packard says. Well, Otto gave me one. She's a dream invader. I know, I say. Packard frowns. His roguish allure appealed to me at one time, but that was before I realized he'd tricked me into being his minion for life. I cross my arms and look away, struggling to maintain my usual grudge against him. Everything and everyone is way too enchanting during glory hour, and if a person was alluring to you before glory hour, their allure increases 1,000,000-fold. Hell, even breathing is a wonderful, sensual experience during glory hour. He says, once she touches you, she has you. How was I supposed to zing her without touching her? Packard pulls a long pair of silver gloves from his pocket. I take them. No wonder he wanted me to wear the silver dress. They're lovely, I say. I run a palm along the smooth, cool silk. Everything is so wonderful during glory hour. I look up and find him staring at me strangely. Packard is the most intense person I know. Even when he's just stirring his coffee or adding up columns of numbers, he has this intensity in him, like white-hot lava churns inside him 24/7. Let me put it this way, so that even your glorying mind can understand. I touched you while you were touching an extremely dangerous dream invader. She's probably linked us both now. I'm sorry I didn't wait for you, I say. Slowly, Packard turns to me. It'll almost be worth it just to see the look on Otto's face when he finds out. You and me conference into each other's dreams. Why should Otto care? So she screws around in our dreams. Dreams that she creates from memories. She uses memories as her raw material. So what? Packard says, do you have any memories that you'd prefer not to revisit with Ez and me along for the ride? Experiencing everything from your point of view? Think of the experiences you'd most prefer to keep private. Those are the ones she'll grab. Ez is like a collage artist, and the easiest memories for her to grab are the ones with the highest emotional charge. He looks into my eyes. That is the one silver lining in all this. I'm thinking of certain moments at the Mongolian delights. I say, how do you know it won't be the playback of your most secret memories? Because, he says, it won't. His hesitation tells me he's not so sure, that maybe he's even a little bit worried. Can we just get to the part where she's actually a threat in some way, I say? With every dream, she increases her hold on you, Packard says. She gets deeper into your mental content and gains power. And then starts you sleepwalking. Eventually, she gets you committing crimes in your sleep. By the time Otto sealed her up, Ez had gangs of sleepwalkers rampaging on her behalf. Remember the Creamy militia 3 years back? The cannibals? The ones who'd, yes, break their victims' arms and legs, then tear into their stomachs with their teeth and eat them? Guess, those. I say, I thought that was a satanic cult. That was the official explanation. Unofficially, they were sleepwalkers under the control of Station Master Ez up there. As her hold deepened, she'd merely plant suggestions during the day that she'd activate at night. She'd make them file their teeth to get them sharp, and then they'd go out and kill. Uh-oh. That's actually one of the least of the problems in this book that our heroine has to deal with, is as having control of her sleeping mind. But it is a problem. So anyway, that was the first part of the first chapter of Double Cross. And thanks to Bitten by Books for having me.